Hi, my name is Kaylee Brown. I'm doing my Unit 2 project for Columbia Southern University, my fire code prevention class. Today we're going to be talking about, I apologize for my hoarseness. Today we're going to be talking about the types of things we can do for the City of Waterville to help our businesses be prepared for fire inspections, what they should expect, and the things that they need to know to better prepare them for the inspection and prepare the fire department for what we may encounter when we arrive on the scene. Some of the things I'd like to discuss today are education. It's very important for businesses to understand, if they're building from the ground up, what they need to have in place for fire suppression systems, alarm systems, as well as any building regulations that need to be in place. Each building, each type of occupancy needs to be permitted for that occupancy use to allow for the correct number of people to be in there, to allow for the building to be inspected for the correct parameters. There needs to be correct egress. There needs to be water supply, fire suppression systems like sprinklers, smoke detectors. In the state of Maine, anything after January 1st, 2022, anything with liquid natural gas or propane is required to have a gas detector in the occupancy. This is non-negotiable. We've had a lot of deaths. We've had a lot of poisonings up here related to that, as well as explosions. One of the most notable and unfortunate recently was in Farmington. We had a Farmington firefighter killed and a few others injured due to propane issues. Enforcement is done by our code enforcement agency. They go out to the businesses when they schedule inspections, and they go with the fire department and they will inspect the building. They start from the outside. They look for any safety issues. They also will go through the building and look at the exits, make sure that they're all up to code as to how far open they are, if they are adequate for any type of protection that they need for the occupancy that they are. This is also where engineering comes into play. When building from the ground up, plans review gets taken into consideration by our fire inspectors to evaluate the building for correct materials used. Occupancies are also evaluated for their fire protection in the state where are materials fire resistant, or are they rated for load bearing protection to allow people time to escape. The codes for our buildings in the area, we do have some that apply more specifically to new construction because of the newer fire codes that have been passed. Maine is an NFPA state. We follow NFPA for our fire code, so we utilize the life safety code. We also use the sprinkler code, anything that applies. The agencies around here, really the only agency that tests materials for their fire resistance and their ratings would be Underwriters Laboratory, or UL. They test materials using multiple types of fire tests, one of which is it's a performance test where material is put into a large furnace or a kiln, and it's heated with a time temperature curve over 20 minutes with different types of materials of a certain size on them, and they are rated to see how long they can withstand that weight in the heat. That's how we test for load bearing. There's also a furnace test where an end of a material is exposed to a hot furnace and it is timed from the other end to see how long it takes for the cool side to become 140 degrees Celsius. This is how we rate materials. This is how materials get fire ratings for increments of half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, or 8 hours. Sorry, my notes. That's how it tests the spread and the resistance, those fire tests. When evaluating occupancy types, any type of standard that we need, we will always go to the life safety NFPA 101 to look up our codes, to look up what our occupancies are supposed to have for ratings for each occupancy, their size, and any other considerations that come into play with that. That's really our Bible. We follow that, and then any local ordinances or building codes that code enforcement agencies decide on for their municipalities are also followed, but they have to meet a minimum of NFPA expectations. I apologize again for the hoarseness, but I hope that I have covered all of my required material, and thank you for watching.